Hi guys, Ancient Warrior. Welcome back to Prepping and Free America. If you like what you hear here, hit the thumbs up. If you don't, oh well. And if you want to be the first on your block to know what craziness I'm talking about next, then hit the bell icon and hit all. Green New Deal. Been hearing a lot about it here of late. Especially out of those yokels from Washington. Can't believe they're even thinking about it. I can't believe that they're so brain dead they haven't seen what actually happens. Let's talk about the Green New Deal. February 13th, 21. As a lot of you know, we had that massive snowstorm that stretched all the way from the Texas Panhandle all the way down south. I mean, it went so far down that Galveston had snow. That's a warm area down there, folks. Electricity went out. The cold air, now they didn't get as cold as we did, but it was freezing all the way down to Galveston. Truck driver buddy of mine called me and said, are you aware that none of the wind generators west of town are moving? And I said, no. He said, are you aware that I haven't seen any wind generators moving between Oklahoma and Texas at all? And I said, no. So I called a friend who works for the electric company here locally. And he told me that most of the big wind generators out west of town were frozen up. And the ones that weren't, they would just shut them down so that they turned them off so that they wouldn't get damaged. I have a neighbor about a block down from me. Has 18 solar panels on his house, 6 facing the west or the east, 6 facing south, and 6 facing the west. And I went down after I was able to get out because I was researching what I wanted to tell you folks. He looked at me and he said, do you know that during that major cold snap and snowstorm, his solar panels did not produce not 1 ounce of power? Not an ounce. Because it was overcast. Everything had snow and ice covering it. Yet you hear the dummies like AOC touting how good the Green New Deal is going to be for America. Really, it's going to be good. If you don't believe me, ask her. We are not to the point yet to where we can go and shut down electrical generation plants to where we can just go solar and wind. I'd love to do it. So would the electric company. Because they wouldn't have to have the manpower that they've got. Folks, we're not to that point. Now the wind generators, the big ones that they've got out there, they're now moving again. But my friend from the electric company said they had a team of over 1,000 people out there working to make sure that generators hadn't been damaged. My neighbor buddy, I always thought he had just a little windmill in his front yard, and I thought it was there for decorations. Be a noisemaker. I didn't realize it had an actual generator in it. He said his little one, it's about 8 feet tall. He said his froze up too. Froze solid. He had to take the generator off and have it rebuilt. Folks, we're not to that point. Solar panels, I've been following solar panels since the early 70s. We're just not technologically advanced enough to do solar. We're getting there with wind. But you hear the so-called environmentalists talking, they don't have a clue. They really don't. Most of them are using pseudoscience and mockingbirding. You know, they're just mockingbird some other speaker. They don't have a clue. Ask those folks that's homes are being repaired right now because pipes froze up down south and the pipes are running through the roof and turned their homes into waterfalls. Ask the people who didn't have electricity for up to a month and then still got a damn bill from the electric company for $1,000 on a one-bed studio apartment. Texas government's looking into why that kind of stuff. There was a guy in Austin claimed he got a $17,000 bill for 5 days worth of electricity. Sounds like somebody's trying to cover their butt. And people can't afford it. Texas governor came in and said, we're going to look into this deal. We want to know why it was down so long. There are people down there still without electricity. And here we are a month and a half after. Houses being declared condemned because water ran everywhere. People froze to death down there. And now our leaders in Washington want to go, New Green Deal, New Green Deal. We're not ready for that. We're 50 to 100 years away from a New Green Deal. And that's if we start getting our solar panels, the technology we're using for solar panels have got to even be better than they are. And I'll tell you something, every home ought to have solar panels on it, have a small shed with batteries in it. Then if the electricity goes out, you flip a switch. And you still got electricity in the house. So with that being said, I'm the Ancient Warrior. And remember, it's better to have this stuff and not need it than need it and not have it. I'm out.